Hi, Mary. Long time no see. Um, so I have some Britney Spears playing in the background. I have a cocktail, sun is setting, and I'm gonna do this makeup for you. I have my stuff set up here. I have Bianca Del Rio on my shirt, first of all, and then yeah. So I have my creams, sponges, and brushes, and that's powder right here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of like do this. I'm not doing a specific plot. I'm just gonna like put a plot on my face and do techniques that you can teach. Um, okay, so my wig cap is already on, but if I were to do this in real time, I would do pin curls on top, on the sides, and in the back. For girls, I mean, girls can do their whole head, but guys, if you have any kind of little bit of hair, longer than 2 inches, I would do little pin curls as well. It just helps keep the mic in. It helps keep the wig attached to your head. I don't really know what kind of wigs and stuff you're using, but I'm just going to give you my super anal wig prep and makeup done demonstration. So I would put the wig cap on, and then I would do bobby pins, regular small bobby pins, to make an X. Crisscross them both on both sides and in the back, and then take a T-pin, wig pin or whatever, and pull it down over to the point, and then come in and then go back up through to attach the wig, excess wig cap to that prep right there, and then kind of cover the bobby pins up. Super anal, but that's just, I don't know, it's how I do it. It's how I was taught early on, and it just keeps you from having your wig fly that way halfway through the first act and then have to deal with it. It's just a pain in the ass. So if you do these little steps, it kind of will bypass any of those problems during dress rehearsal. Like I say, it's the way they did it on Broadway for almost 20 years. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Okay, so cocktail. Some things never change, right? Anyway, I'm going to start with my muzzle, which is under your nose and around your, whatever that's called. You're the makeup artist, this area. Girls don't usually do the full muzzle. They just would do this part up here, and small for the girls, very teeny tiny. The guys, on how masculine you want the cat to be, you can make it really wide. I kind of tend to just keep it. I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I take the white cream stick and sponge, and just kind of, I'm going to do this in this mirror I have set up here. So you just kind of attach the makeup. You don't have to be tentative. Really get the color on there from the get-go so that it, cover your lips. Oh, and I should also say you should start with a really clean face. No moisturizer or anything on. They say that Neutrogena products are kind of eat through the makeup and it comes off, but I've never really had that problem. So I don't know. I think they mean if you use a moisturizer, but soaps and stuff, I just washed my face with Neutrogena, so I should be fine. So if I were going to do this in real time, costumes usually go to here. You would bring this all the way down through the neck, or however the costume colors go, you can kind of blend that way with the colors into the, once again, super anal. So I'm not going to do that right now just because I don't feel like it. So there is my muzzle. It's not exact, but it's kind of what I will pull from. I'm also going to do my, what side do I usually do? My left eye. This is a Pounceable plot that I like from the actual original show. But over the years, when I'm not doing the original show or if I'm designing the makeup, I kind of take little pieces of everyone else's makeup and make it a plot. I think it's kind of fun. Sometimes you see cats with, one white side and black, something going across their face, so you can make it whatever. So you get really, like I said, liberal with the color, and don't be shy. It's just makeup. It's not going to bite. So that's the eye. I kind of do that with my eye, completely cover it. Some people like to wax the eyebrows down. If you have a super dark eyebrowed guy, you might want to consider, doing the drag queen trick where they glue their eyebrows down with a glue stick and then powder and all that crap, and then smooth it down. Or whatever. I honestly, it's not that big of a deal. You can kind of come around. You can design around the eyebrow. Okay, so that's that. Next, I'm going to take my... What color am I going to do next? Let's do the tan color. Oh. What I did for love. Okay. This is kind of a tan color. Speaking of cats, you might see mine, who's making his presence known right now. This is Dee Dee. Dee Dee! Dee Dee. No. This is Dee Dee. Dee Dee. That's Dee Dee. You can't really see him, but go away. He's 12. Okay, so I'm doing tan now. You can't really see it, but there goes my tan. And I'm gonna do this whole side tan. Not my whole side, but what I did for love. And then I bring it also down around the muzzle, like kind of take the sponge and really, you know. So I'm also going to take, you can't really see the tan, but yeah, that's all the tan makeup now. And I'm going to take it straight up to the center to create a line. That's this character. I mean, this is just my plot that I like to do a lot, so I'm used to it, and it's the one that I can execute quickly for you. This is also part of like an Alonzo Play-Doh kind of plot. Very bold lines as far as like the main base makeup goes. Okay, so that's tan. Straight up. A little more that way. Now we have RuPaul. Next, okay, I'm gonna do this brownish color. It's like kind of rusty, beigey color. I'm just using what I had from my last production. And I'm going to fill in the rest of my skin with this color. And I kind of go around where the white is with this color as well. Now, Cicidad, wow. So also when you're putting this on, you can kind of take the white up a little bit, like take the actual rust color over the white a little bit. Because what I'm going to do later is kind of blend those colors to make a very soft, I like to call it like cotton candy, feathery, kind of furry look about it. And that'll be in my next phase. Okay, so that color would go on that side. And then this is tricky, but you kind of maneuver your sponge to get into the areas above your eye here. And like I said, if you blend it over the white, you can always go back in with your blending sponge and kind of correct it. I find that if you if you sit there and like, oh my gosh, I can only get makeup right there and right there, or it's going to be ruined, you're going to screw yourself up. It's not that deep. You just kind of like get it on there and kind of tweak it as you go. you don't want it to be perfect because you want it to look feathery and cat-like. Okay, so that's, I kind of went a little overboard with my eyebrow right there, but I'll go back in with a white and fix that now. Okay, so go back with the white. See, so I went back through and kind of white's back now. Okay, so I have the base pretty much done. You see? Okay, so from this point I would go, actually, I take my white, with my white kind of a you know, semi-stiff small brush that has a nice sharp tip to it, so that you can start using the makeup with the brush now, and I'm going to kind of start to make a little bit of like striations and feathered effect. So I take it from the white out to the color. You just kind of like wisp it out. And thicker from when you start and lighter as you go out to make that feathered effect. And just kind of like go around the whole line and kind of soften a little bit. This kind of is like that picture you sent me earlier. It's the Jemima Syllabub look. A lot of the girls' makeup kind of has this effect, but I really feel like all the plots can kind of get this idea, and then for the men, you can even like, you just make it stronger with the actual bold colors. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And it just kind of gives that whole like furry effect. I think we've moved on to some NSYNC. I made a little playlist for you, Mary. Some musical theater, some 90s pop, early 2000s. Okay, so that's that around the muzzle. Do a little more over there. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to do the same thing around the white of my eye. Just kind of like pull the color out. And some people like to wipe and do all that kind of stuff too in between strokes. I kind of find that the color kind of just, it's a waste of time. You're just going to freak yourself out and end up taking like 2 hours to do your makeup. This is just my technique. I'm sure other people would probably like scoff and be like, how dare he? But it's how I was taught from the people who had done it. So, and then this I kind of like take up in the direction of the white so that it kind of has a, I'm trying to do it so that you can see. And then I just kind of, a little bit to the other side, tan color. See, and do it down over my nose as well. So that's that. You see that? Good. Okay. What else? I also like to do my makeup standing up, like right in the mirror. My back usually end up killing me before the show even starts because of the way I stand. Okay, so next, I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker color for the striations over here. I guess I'll start with my brown. So I have kind of a thick brush for this one because I like to kind of create the fur from the edges of the face. Let's see what I'm going to do. trying to think of other things I can tell you about the process. You should know that your Plato or whoever plays the other role of the Macavity, you're gonna have to have a quick makeup addition in the second act. He usually leaves after the moments of happiness and gets his makeup on. I usually add, when I play Macavity, I add to whatever the plot already is. I just add like red and orange. Just kind of make an accent of what's already there, but make it a little scarier. This last production, I made a superhero mask. I made like an M, and it was like, you know, Batman, Robin kind of mask with red. Get paid to do this. Okay, so my striations. I'm going to start actually with some whiskers. Light ones. These are just accents. It kind of brings the effect out. Little wispy light moves. New school Brittany. And then I do this. Always thicker when you start. And lighten up as you pull the brush away from your face. Now these effects can be used in, you know, on other parts of the face too, but this is just what I like to do for like the men, the Monk's Trap, the Alonzo, Plato types. Thick. See? What else? You can do accents with this color. Dee Dee, get the hell out. Go away. My cat, he's such a nuisance. I'm going to go through and do, between the white lines, I'm going to do the same thing over here with the brown. To believe. So I did the brown kind of in there too. And also I like to do coming from the wig, whatever kind of, like if there's a white streak, you can do some white stuff coming into your head, or you know, if there's an orange there or brown, you kind of just can make them come from that hair so that it looks like the wig and the makeup kind of go together. Like these kind of things. Like my last production, I had more of like a white hair on, I guess this side with like a brown streak. So like, you know, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so that's that. All right, let's move on to the black. Or wait, let me do more of my, I had to go through again with the white and kind of accent it as I go. There we go. You get the idea. Always the white on the top of the dark. You know that, I'm sure, from your own makeup. When you put regular makeup on, it's the same idea. Okay, so now I'm going to take my black. I'm going to do black now. I'll start doing my muzzle and stuff. Okay, so muzzles can be created the way you want to make them. Some of the girls shouldn't be as crazy, thick, and bold just because they're feminine. The men, I like to start with the nose. Never go higher than your nostrils because then you will look like a dog. So think taking your brush with paint on it and just kind of giving yourself a starting point. Not going above the nostril. Right at it so that the nostril kind of blends. And I mean, it's gross, but I get like all kind of in there so that our noses, our human noses, disappear. And then I make a V to, hold on, I'll show you what I do and then I'll show it to you. So you kind of come in from each point of your lower out part of your nostril. That's the first side, kind of like that. Like that. So it makes a V. Can you see? Right. And then kind of pull it, take the sharper part of your brush and make a line right to your lip. Like that. And what I like to do at this point is, for females, I like to line the top of the, so I'll do a girl side and then a boy side. For the girls, I like to kind of take it from where I left off, come back up, and outline the upper part of the lip. Like that. So that just basically outlined the top, so it kind of has a feminine effect. If you're going to do like a Bustifer Jones, or the older males, they can kind of use this too. It kind of gives them a, a little bit of a highbrow. So then the boys, I like to do under. So you would go opposite. You would go from that point this way and go down like this. And I'll fill it in a little bit more. I went a little too low. You gotta do like that. You kind of fill it in. Does that make sense? So you're making that kind of whiskered area of the muzzle of the cat. See? So those are the two choices you can do. So from there, to make the lower lip, females, some of them put lipstick on and then they line it with a darker red, or some leave a little opening. Like I like to do this, where you make the V. So they do that. You can fill it with color or leave it open, fill it in black. I like to fill it in black. So that's the mouth. And then you can add your whiskers on. You just do the same idea that you did over here, but I make 3. A smaller one, the middle one kind of long and distinct, and then the bottom one a little less. The same thing on the other side. You should sing this song, Mary. It's Megan Hilty from Smash. I think about you when I hear this song, actually. Alright, so that's the muzzle. Now I'm going to go in and do some other accents with black over the brown, just because on stage you want a little extra color. And then I'm going to move into doing the eye. I'm not going to do both, I'm just going to do one eye because you don't need to see me do both eyes. I'm going to do a little bit of the black as I come through to pull that fur look. This is a very kind of involved one. I wouldn't give this to somebody who you might not think is so great with the makeup. This is an advanced one, which I'm kind of botching right now, but quickly going through. It's hard, but if you feel like somebody's got a knack for the makeup, give it to them. If they can execute it, you know. Okay, so let's do an eye. For me, I'm gonna do this clear eye so you can see it. So I take the black still and go find the kind of point, as if you were gonna draw eyebrows on. Find the point where it, you know, it doesn't look like they're cross-eyed, and go follow it a little bit above the eyebrow, and then pull it up. So my eyebrow's here, so it's about, you know, a little bit above it. And then I go in and I pull that piece up like that. Do the same thing, kind of creating almost like eyelashes. To get that kind of an idea, like that. Okay, and then I pull a little makeup from the eye there. Again, I'm doing the male. Females, a lot of them like to just kind of create an eye, a cat eye, and then put lashes on where they can still look female. For me, I have my Barbra Streisand shaped almond eyes, so I do this kind of effect so that it pulls my actual eye up to be more feline-like, and then I pull it from the crease up to meet it there. And then fill it in. I fill it in with black. If you wanted to put a color in there, you could do that too. Just kind of, you know, hide your actual eye shape. See? And then you just kind of like, you know, dramatize the eye. I don't like to line the bottom of it just because on stage you lose eyes, so I kind of leave the bottom part open. It just depends on what the person's eye shapes are and what they look like. And then you just kind of like, for me, I do a little bit from the inside here. Just kind of pull it all together, and then you just kind of make it that same kind of fur striation thing that I had done before with my muzzle. It's kind of the same thing with the eye over here. See? You do the same thing to the other eye, or leave that one open and just, I don't know, create. You're an artist, you're going to make your own designs, but this is just how to execute it. My last production, the makeup designer thought about this technique of making it like look more like a cat's nose. So he did this thing where he brought it with the black line to the point like that, and he did the same thing on the other side. So it kind of creates this sharp kind of cat-like nose that they have, or the way their faces all kind of go to the center like that. And then I like to pull some stuff from it. Fur. Like that. Let's see what else. I'm gonna go in with this other brush with some yellow. This brush, for the super fine stuff, you want to use a brush that's kind of got like a wedge kind of thing, you know, that it can really get skinny. And I'm going to use some yellow, use this as an accent. And what I've done over here, I would do it here, and then also this same technique on the other side, and you know, the yellow kind of shows up. Let's do a couple. kind of creates a little bit of another effect and texture. You could even use it in that area as well. And then definitely on this, bring the yellow into this reddish brown stuff over here, just to give it texture and so that the light hits it differently. Because what your makeup looks like sitting in front of the mirror and what it will look like when you look at it from the stage is like so completely different. Like what you think looks amazing in the mirror, no one past the first row is probably going to even see it. I learned that, but I don't know. I still feel like my makeup tends to go towards what the look of the film was. I love it. I think it's what it should look like. Okay, so the little yellow there. You can do the same thing up here in this area with this, this kind of stuff, this technique. Just accent colors. And then I'm definitely going to go back to my white now and highlight some other things, which really make stuff pop, like the eyes. Go in and do a little above the black, just to kind of open the color up a little bit. Definitely accent that and that and that. So that just makes that kind of show up a little bit more. Go in and do accents here. So it's the same idea throughout the rest of it. At this point, okay, it's my favorite part. Powdering. I'm in my house right now, so I'm not going to go too crazy. But if I were actually like, oh, I didn't show you the stipple technique. Hold on, stipple technique. So if you want for some texture, you can take a stipple brush and go into color, like orange, for instance. Sometimes if you do it in the tan areas, you can go in and kind of give a little bit more fur. I would do this before you do the striations, but I don't really use this too much. But if you wanted to do it for like an area of the face rather than use just like bold white, you could do the stipple effect instead. New to me, I don't really use it much, but this last makeup designer asked it to be in my plot, so I did it. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and powder. People get really scared about the powdering technique because I don't know. I don't really remember what my reaction was to it the first time. I think I had to go on in like an hour, so I didn't really care too much about what was happening. So this is the powder. It's like opaque. I mean, not opaque. Translucent. Just makeup powder. White. Looks like flour. My makeup things in there. So okay, at this point you would just get a powder puff and just honestly. Hold on. Let me turn my fan off. Powder everywhere. You just go in and cover your face with powder. I'm just going to do one side. I like to go from lighter colors to darker ones just in case, some of the makeup comes up on the puff. It won't be so dramatic if it ends up on some black, So really get in there and pat the powder into the makeup so that you almost like can barely see the makeup. See that face is like completely become white. So it's really even and on there really good. Because what I'm going to do next is take the brush and brush all of it off, covering some things. So then you take all of it off with the brush. Really get in your eye, get it all off of your face. I only did half of my face. I didn't do the dark side. I just did this light side. So see, the makeup's still there. It's just powdered now. And then at this point, you would take, excuse me, paper towel, ready. Take a water spritzer and just honestly really just spray water on your face. That much. So I just sprayed my face with water. You take the paper towel, you just kind of blot, let it kind of go on your face like this. Don't rub, just blot. Get it everywhere. So that what it does is it sets the color, it sets the powder and brings the color back to the, the design. And if you look at my paper towel, there's no makeup on it. It's still on my face. So you let that kind of set for a second. You know what I forgot? I forgot to do whiskers. The dots for whiskers. What I like to do for whiskers is take the black brush, honestly, and just kind of like lightly give 3 or 4 little dotty lines. And that creates the idea of the kitty lip. Do the other side too. There they are. Now look, so that's set and dried. No makeup. Look, I'm just touching my face and there's no makeup on my hand. So this will last. You might have to touch up at intermission, but I don't tend to have to do it. If you do all these steps right, it should stay on your face, unless you're like a super uber sweater. And then at the end of the show, take another like bottle like this, fill it with baby oil, and when you come off and take your wig and everything off, spray your face with all that baby oil. Close your eyes and spray your face. Put some in your hands, rub it together, and honestly, like, take the makeup off that way. It just it melts off. So you can get in and get all the stuff out, and then take good baby wipes and just wipe your face clean. And if you need to, wash your face afterwards and moisturize.